it's July the 10th, 2020, and today is the day that finally the UK's quarantine rules change, which means you can come here to the French Riviera for a holiday and go back home without having to quarantine at either end. But here are the things you need to know before you come. There has never been a better time to visit Nice. The beaches are empty, the sea is blue and clear, and the air is free of pollution. Here we are down on one of the main beaches on the Baie des Anges, and as you can see, there's plenty of space. People are socially distancing, it feels very safe, and more to the point, if you want to get a sunbed on one of the private beaches, there's lots available. This is a dream summer in the south of France. Nice is usually jam-packed with traffic at this time of year, but as you can see, the Promenade Anglais behind me is practically empty. It's quite remarkable. Usually this would be wall-to-wall traffic all the way from the airport to Nice port right at the far end here. So it's a great time if you want to come, hire a car and drive around. Or alternatively, if you want to bring your own car right down from the UK, why not? There's plenty of space. One thing to note though is that mask wearing is absolutely enforced on all public transport, on the tram, on the bus and on all French trains. And there are guys and girls going around in red t-shirts who will very quickly nick you if you are caught not wearing a mask. So if you get to the airport and you want to take the tram back into Nice, which is just €1 now, and you can go the whole journey from terminals 1 and 2 right the way through to Nice port, well, you will need a mask. You'll also need €1. That's all it costs, €1 to get from Nice airport to the centre of Nice. What a bargain! And if using public transport isn't your thing, well, Nice has a great bike hire scheme, much like the Boris bikes in London. Stick in your credit card, pick up a bike, off you go, drop it anywhere. There's even now e-bikes for hire, so for those of you who are less agile, like me, you can hire an e-bike. There's also a fantastic network of cycle paths, which have been expanded during the whole Covid crisis to go right the way around to the port, some new ones right through the centre of the town. Really has never been a better time to cycle in Nice. And if you're a fan of watching cycling, well, these things that are wrapped around all the palm trees on the Promenade Anglais mean just one thing: that the Tour de France, the grand départ of the Tour de France, it begins right here in Nice at the end of August. So whip on your lycra, hop on the plane and get on down here and see the beginning of the Tour de France 2020. The other thing to note is everything is open. Here I am on the Courselea, the world famous flower market, and it's very, very quiet, but it's a great time to visit. There's no crowds, you can see everything, you can shop for some bargains, and you can take a nice leisurely lunch in one of the many restaurants that border the square. And for once, you won't have to queue to get a table. The other thing to remember is that mask use is obligatory. Here I am in Galerie Lafayette, the famous French department store where I often pop in if I fancy a new Gucci handbag or some Armani flip-flops. And as you come in through the door, you're obliged to put on your mask, and you're also obliged to sanitize your hands, and it's given to you by the security guard. You don't have a choice. So if you do a day's shopping in Nice, you end up with a pair of hands that are so dry they're like a pair of old kippers. But anyway, I'm off to get a Gucci handbag. Because the weather's getting very hot, the Mayor of Nice has kindly installed a giant swimming pool right in the centre of town in the park. It's available for all. Right now there seems to be a senior citizens aqua aerobics class, but obviously I'm far too young to join in with that. But it's marvellous. I watched it the other day. You can book in your kids and it's heavily supervised. There's a lifeguard, but not just to make sure you don't drown, but to make sure you keep socially distant, and he's very bossy. I watched him, but it's fantastic, and it's a fantastic contrast with certain countries where swimming pools and gyms are still closed. I'm now going to introduce you to one of our new innovations. This is a special misting machine, and also a point where you can fill for free your water bottle. I guess the idea is that it cuts down on plastic waste. Here you go, you see the water goes in, and then you press the button and try and line it up, and you get a free bottle of water. So not just do you save the environment, but you save brass, and to a Yorkshireman that's very important. You have to press it twice if you want a full one. I have to say, it's really tasty water as well. From the mountains. So this is one of my very favourite bits of Nice. Even just a few years ago, this whole area down the centre of Nice was a succession of hideous multi-storey car parks and a really knackered old bus station that always smelt of pee. You used to get off the plane, you used to get into the bus station and think, the glamour of the French Riviera. Well, the mayor has changed all that. He's built a huge garden which stretches right from the waterfront down on the Promenade Anglais right the way up to the National Theatre, and indeed if he gets his way he's going to knock the National Theatre down and move it to somewhere much more exciting. And in its place, what he put here in place of all the old manky car park stuff is this wonderful interactive fountain which sort of dances around to the music, does different formations. It was closed during the Covid crisis for obvious reasons. Obviously the crisis is still going on, but it's been deemed safe to reopen for the summer, and as you can see, it's a piece of art that the kids absolutely love, and I'm going to risk walking in the middle of and doubtless get absolutely drenched, but there you can see the kids just having an absolute ball. I think it's truly fantastic, and by the way, it's absolutely free. Fill your boots.